Are you feeling exhausted and burned out? If so, stay tuned and I'm going to show you 4 quick ways that you can recover your energy no matter your human design type. Peace and welcome. My name is Adrienne Roach. I'm a human design expert and entrepreneur, and I'm here to share with you practical ways that you can use human design to improve your business and your life. I'm so glad that you're here with me today. If you're looking forward to this, make sure to hit the like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can know when I upload new content. Let's get into it. All right, so we're here to talk about energy today. And the question is, why should you care about energy, especially for business? The reality is, for your business to be successful, the most important thing that you need to manage is actually your energy. You might think it's the budget, you might think it's the profits and loss, but none of that's going to matter if you don't have the energy to actually run your business. If you think about how important your energy is tied into every decision that you make. It's tied into your physical health and wellness. And it actually is the basis for all of your interactions with your customers. So when you have a client or a customer, what part of you are they actually meeting you at? They're meeting your energy. So this is why it's so important that we actually take notice and have awareness around our own energy as we move through our day and as we are trying to run our businesses. You know, so many folks are into entrepreneurship, but there is this part that we've kind of like left out, like no one's really talking about it, not nearly as much as maybe we should, which is, you know, how do we take care of our energy? And the fact is, when we do take care of our energy, when we're mindful of it, that it actually invites and creates space in our lives for not only rest, but for us to be supported. All right, so how do you know if you're maybe having some kind of energy management issues? I'm going to take it type by type. So first, for generators and for manifesting generators, you guys are going to really experience a lack of energy sometimes, or, you know, the really terrible and tragic thing is not actually ever feeling lit up by anything. It's just everything is kind of the same. Nothing stands out as a yes or a no. It's just all blah. And, you know, when the most extreme hits, I mean, you just never get lit up by anything. This is an indication that you need to actually engage in some very specific self-care. And if you stick here to the end of the video, I'm going to share with you some tips on how to pull yourself out. So for the next type, for projectors, you'll know that you're needing some energetic management. First off, if you feel like super exhausted, because here's the thing, you're not here to work to exhaustion ever, okay? So if you're working to exhaustion, or if you're really frantically doing a lot, that especially doing a lot that doesn't move the needle. Every time a projector uses energy, I mean, it's like very precious. It needs to be leveraged energy, meaning that, you know, 1 button press is equal to 10 button presses. And otherwise, you're going to just wear yourself out. The other thing is, you're not being led by curiosity. You're more so being led by, you know, survival, need to, have to, performance. And it's usually kind of an external expectation. So, you know, these are the signs that you need to actually begin to actively manage your own energy. For manifestors, my dear manifestors, I'm a manifestor and I have actually experienced this. Y'all, I experienced it for like 18 months where I had zero inspiration and zero ability to act on inspiration. So for manifestors, if you feel completely uninspired and, you know, there's nothing bubbling up ever, you know, for long periods of time. Even though I know we can sometimes have to wait for a while before something bubbles up, it felt like forever to wait for 18 months of being completely uninspired and not necessarily having a lot of energy. So just again, back to this lack of energy, because we've been wasting it, really. If you don't manage it, you end up wasting it. And then last, but certainly not least, we would never want to forget the reflectors. And it's really important for all of us to kind of know these things about the people around us because, hey, you know, we're dealing with other people and we should be able to see these signs as well, because you never know when you can help someone identify that they might need some help. So reflectors, if you're just constantly disappointed, and yeah, this is a time where you need to kind of maybe take a step back. So this would be one of the biggest signs. Another sign is maybe you feel rushed or pressured into moving because, you know, you guys are supposed to wait a really long time before necessarily committing to decisions. Yeah, this is a great sign that you are in need of energy management. So now that we know why we need to actually, you know, pay attention to our energy, let's talk about something called energy management. Okay, what is energy management? The idea here is that we all have a finite amount of resources. Energy, we have physical energy, right? So that which is with our bodies. We have mental energy, so that's our capacity and ability to think. And we have our spiritual energy, like this is just our enthusiasm and passion. And so when we are actively engaging in energy management, what we're doing is we are being aware of all of those individual levels and managing them so that we can show up and perform our best and feel our best. So when you think about like energy management, this is the way that we are managing all of those levels and making sure that we don't actually get completely depleted if it's not correct for us. If you're liking this video so far, comment energy down below. Let's juice up the comments with some energy. Your energy is the single most important asset in your business and in your life. It's the source of everything. So when you choose to manage it actively, you're really doing something not just for yourself, but for the people you serve and the people you have contact with in your life. This is super important stuff. All right, so I want to tell you guys a little bit more about kind of my energy journey. And I laugh because it's been a crazy trip. First off, I am a recovering energy fritterer. I assure you is a word. I looked it up in the dictionary. And basically what it means to fritter your energy is to kind of just disperse it all around. And it's kind of the opposite of focusing one's energy, right? So I'm just shooting energy off all over the place. Somebody asks me for something, pew, pew, pew. I'm just shooting off my energy. And then one day I looked up and I was completely exhausted. As a matter of fact, my energy had completely collapsed. So I was in the midst of what you might call a burnout. And burnout is not a comfortable place to be. This is not something I recommend. If any of you have experienced it, please let me know below because I'm with you. I've been there. So basically, you know, some of the ways that I was kind of, I would say disrespecting my energy is I would show up even if I was completely exhausted, which I really think that, you know, we really have to be really careful about what we're doing when we're tired. Because like, you know, I'm sure there's a study out there. Being tired is like if you're driving tired, it's like driving drunk. So think about it like that. If you don't operate your life tired. I mean, for real, y'all. Don't operate your life tired. I also had to kind of come to the recognition that I didn't really owe anyone any explanations about why I wasn't showing up, because it was really interesting that there would be people who actually kind of thought that I should be obligated and, you know, obligated to tell them why I wasn't showing up. And here's the thing. I just want to let you know, you don't have to tell people why you're not showing up. I mean, you know, there's a few certain cases, but for the most part, you can just say no and, you know, kind of be off the hook. You don't really have to explain to people what you're doing to protect your energy, because for some people it's not going to make sense. I'll be honest with you, some of the things that I do now just simply don't make a lot of sense to just regular folks, and I don't really have the energy to explain. Like that would be, for me, frittering my energy is like answering questions. And I made a video about that. I recommend you watch that video, because literally you don't have to explain to people. Oh yeah. So basically I really took a great responsibility about my energy. So my role in protecting my own energy is more important than anybody's perception of me. I really don't care what people think about the crazy things that I do to protect my energy. And because I'm being energetically responsible to myself, it really, that comes first. So that really takes great priority. When I'm more responsible with my energy, I can plan time off. So if you are running a business, or even if you work or whatever you're doing, literally taking care of your energy allows for you to even anticipate when you're going to need more rest. There's, all kinds of cycles, different parts of the year, just different times when you're going to be tired, or for whatever reason, you want to be able to take rest. The thing about it is, back to operating your life while sleepy is like being drunk. Don't be a drunk driver. Don't be a sleepy liver. You may not make really good decisions if your energy is low. People are very accommodating of my kind of weird ways I protect my energy, as long as I kind of warn them in advance. So this is the time we have to put on our big girl britches and our big boy britches, and just tell people in advance that we're going to be taking some time off, in as much advance as possible. Like sometimes, hey, you might get hit with something out of the blue, because energy is impacted by all kinds of things: our diet, our activity levels, how much work we've been doing. But you could also just get ill, right? So if you are ill or injured, there's all kinds of reasons why your energy might be low. You have to be able to make space for yourself, and there's nothing more important than your own healing and recovery. All right. So y'all ready for these 4 tips? Okay, y'all. The moment we've been waiting for. So I broke it down by type. And to be honest with you, I think all of these can sort of apply across the board, but each one is very specific for every type in human design. And I think that, who knows, we might revisit this conversation and go deeper in some other parts of the chart, but let's keep it high level for right now. Listen, generators and manifesting generators, you guys, please stop doing hate. Just stop it. No is a complete sentence. You don't really have to explain. If it isn't a hell yeah, it needs to be a hell no, and you need to be able to walk away from it. That's kind of it. Like, it's really almost as simple as that. There could be some more, but I think those 2 things really, boom, that's going to take care of it. For projectors, listen, let yourself be absorbed in whatever it is that is interesting you. Be led by curiosity, and kind of just back off of all the doing until you have leveraged ways for you to do things. So especially if you're an energetic debt, it's time for you to get pretty still and just allow yourself to recover, because a projector and energetic debt, it's kind of disastrous. So you really want to just rest, like prioritize that. All right. So for manifestors, all right. Now I'm a manifestor, and let me tell you what I've got going on. Listen, reducing stimulation from the outside. Literally, I've got blocks of time where I am not to be disturbed by anyone in my family, and they respect it. I take myself out into nature and just get away. It's really important for us not to think that we have to be in response mode. And I would say this actually applies to the projectors as well, but literally you got to get out of response mode, because response mode is not our natural way of being. Especially as a manifestor, you're waiting for something to bubble up in here. So out there, what's around you, I mean, you can't make it completely silent and quiet, but what you can do is put some buffer up between you and external stimulus. Shut off those notifications on your phone. Don't answer email all the time. Oh, these are, it's really crazy, because if you got a business, you're like, oh, how can I take a break? Let me tell you. I'm sure we'll discuss it more, but you absolutely can. You just have to, shape the way that you interact and set some expectations. And that's why you have to let people know like what you've got going on, so they can kind of stay out of your way. And so for my dear reflectors, for you, it's super important. If you are running into some energetic issues, you have this chronic disappointment, everything just feels super terrible, it's time for you to move on to a different place. So when I say move to a different place, I'm not talking about picking up your stuff and moving. What I am talking about is go and change the scenery, right? Go out into nature, go for a walk in the woods or a walk on the beach, observe some nature, I'm going to say watch a flower grow, or watch a bird build a nest, or watch some natural phenomenon and attune yourself to that. The reason being is, you are here to sample all of this energy, and you're kind of carrying it. And so to go out into nature and discharge it is an excellent idea. And to be honest with you, all of the types can get a lot of healing just by being away from the business, being away from the family, going into nature and just having a time to yourself, so that you're not spending energy, but instead recuperating energy from the bounty that is nature. So thanks so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this, please hit the like and subscribe and the notification bell, and share this with a friend. I'll see you next week. Bye.